before the break, we were talking about the, pro-fascists, as they say, they're anti-fascists, but really in reality they are fascists, and they're pro-communists and they're pro-socialists, which in the past has really destroyed countries and killed hundreds of millions of people in basically 1 century. Just look at communist China when Mao Zedong was in power. And these people are out in the streets basically using this day as a crutch as the May Day March, to promote their evil fascist hatred. Communists never will work in history, as it's shown, propaganda to go out there and intimidate people that are pro-capitalist, that are pro-free market, all that jazz. And they're basically saying, now here in America, they're basically saying that we want to promote having illegal immigrants and these mass floods of migrants from countries that are failures, literal failures, with no government established there, no concrete laws, no justice there whatsoever, where ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Al-Nusra and all these, basically one entwined terrorist groups rule those nations by the throat. So, and we have people here promoting that. They want more people in the streets fighting against it. The evil establishment that wants to ultimately, be racist and say Donald Trump's the head of it and he's racist and all that crap. The same, click words and clickbait crap that I can't stand, that we hear all the time. I can't stand the little trendy crap. So I try not to even get into it because it'll really piss me off. But I mean, we're seeing it on the street, so it's like you have to embrace it. You have to talk about it because it's there. It's on our public streets. Our taxpayers are paying for these idiots in college that are being taught by these radicalized college professors, these liberal Looney Tune leftist numbnuts that are teaching your kids, if I don't care how old you are, they're going to either teach your kids or they are teaching your kids right now how to be little good commies and good socialists and sit out there with their ass to the wind and just accept whatever the hell happens to them by design. So with that underway, as they're drinking their fluoride water, we have that happening in Paris. We have that happening big time in Germany, Spain, you name it, and America particularly. But France looked like it got the most heat out of this because just of how bad the riots got there. Like I said, I showed before, my last segment, the police catching on fire, literally, people throwing cocktail Molotovs, whatever, at them. And burning them alive, basically. I don't think any of them died. I haven't really looked into it that much. I can't comment much on it. But, but there was massive amounts of tear gas and things used, and cops using batons and things like that to try and subdue these hellacious riots. So, with that in mind, that's what the world's coming to now. This is what the social engineers wanted, to get these people into the anti-capitalist, anti-America, anti-West mindset to help bring in the Middle Eastern, the Islamic Sharia law people, where you have these women sitting out there, basically praising Allah, thanking Allah, not God, that, we had these people coming in here, and if you're opposed to that, and if you even talk about it, then you're Islamophobic and you're xenophobic and you're a bigot. So I'm talking about it right now from a really clear standpoint because, one, I'm not Islamophobic. Two, I'm not xenophobic. I accept everybody. I'm a pure, good red-heart American that just wants to see people, be prosperous in the country, and abroad. But apparently that's not going to happen in a Middle Eastern sector of the world that's centuries behind us in many, many ways. And their religion is very different than us. They're literally banging their cousins over there. And with that, you get a little bit of mind twist over there. And generations go down as you keep, banging your cousin and family members. It really does do a great deal of health negatively to, generations like you that keep coming after and keep pumping them out by their cousins. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying that because it's absolutely true. You can look that up. It's an epidemic in England. It's happening in France and Europe, all over the place, in Belgium and Sweden. Letting in these migrants that are not going to conform with Western society whatsoever. And for the good Muslims out there, I'm sorry for them, because I know they know that sort of religion and policy and that sort of lifestyle doesn't reflect what they believe as a moderate, kind of sit back, like the ones that want to adopt our pro-Western, pro-Americana ways of life. And we understand that. We're not going to sit here and act like we're bashing all of you. We're not. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. And I don't care what these liberals say that watch this. That's not what's happening. Now, moving away from the May Day parade, I'm going to make a lane switch because this came out a few days ago. Actually, well, I'm sorry, yesterday. This one did at least. Yeah, this came out last night. And it was basically, I'll throw it up on here for viewers. It came out of news.com from, I believe, Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Leaked document reveals Facebook conducted research to target emotionally vulnerable and insecure youth. Yes, get the people that are young. Get the people that are mentally unstable. It comes with a list here. Let's see if we can highlight it. It says the confidential document data. It was leaked. Okay, the confidential document data this year detailed how by monitoring posts, comments, and interactions on the site, Facebook can figure out when people as young as 14 years old. So I bet there's some pedophiles probably going on there too. Defeated. They feel defeated, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, nervous, stupid, silly, useless, and a failure. So they get the ones that are mentally unstable, the ones that have nothing. They go, here, we'll use your emotions to, put more advertisements out there so you can feel, a little more welcomed or something. They're using your emotions to benefit for their pockets. Okay, and it goes on in more detail here that y'all can read for yourself. You can look this up. You can just look up leaked document reveals Facebook conducted research. It was on the face of Drudge last night. I think it still is on Drudge right now. I haven't checked in a hot minute, but I believe it still is on there. And when I saw that, I knew everyone knows that Facebook spies on you. Even Adam Ruins Everything did a great little skit on that. Even though a lot of things he says I don't really agree with all the time. But what he says about Facebook and how they track people and how they use what your interest for advertiser purposes, because you're not paying for the service, you are the service, you are the product, like that, you are the people that they're surveilling you. Okay, basically what that means. They did that from Monday through Thursday. It was a big thing. They're getting young people. They catch them off guard because they're so naive and don't really understand what's going on. Don't understand how Facebook really works. And just the fact that they were really targeting innocent kids like that, 14 years old, to me, that's still pretty damn innocent as a child. So I thought that was quite interesting, to be honest. It was leaked, I believe, from an Australian newspaper from, I believe, maybe an insider? Right, but you can just look this up for yourself. And it really does show the evils and the depths of what these social media companies will go to, especially Facebook. How they track people. They single you out. People that are politically active on their Facebook consistently. You are being monitored. I'm being monitored. I know for a fact. I put up a link that I'll get to later on today that I got to remind myself to mention this as I go on here. That literally has not been reached. If you have a Facebook, it shows you when you put up a link or something, you put up something on your Facebook and you publish it, it shows how many people it reached. Well, this basically showed that it didn't reach a single person within an hour, and that's never happened before. At least one person at least gets reached. This got reached by no one, and this is big time news right now that I'll get into later on throughout my podcast here. So, yep, like Facebook is going after them. And people just don't care. Their parents, that means the parents should be monitoring what they do all the time. And what their statuses are. They read your statuses. They read, oh, look, what does this woman feel? What does this little girl, little boy feel? It doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl. They're going to follow you young as hell. And they'll do that with everybody, but they get these kids because they're particularly vulnerable. They're going through stages and puberty, and they're feeling all sorts of emotions, and they're just broadcasting everything on Facebook to get attention. So that's Facebook exploiting emotions for their personal financial gain. Totally wrong, totally Orwellian, and absolutely bass-ackwards. You can't escape from Facebook. You barely can. When you try and leave Facebook, it literally asks you probably like 20 questions like, oh, why are you leaving? What can we do to make it better? Why do you have to go? Etc., etc. I haven't tried doing it. I've never deleted my Facebook before, but I've temporarily left. I forgot what that real term's called right now. When you temporarily leave, but you don't really delete it fully. I've done that before, but I honestly should leave Facebook just because it's just so freaking evil. But you got Mark Zuckerberg over there, living in Kauai or whatever, Kuwait, whatever, somewhere in Hawaii, one of the islands, blocking off his house from, with a wall, but saying that we have to have open borders and stuff. And then he's the one basically like acting like stupid and unaware, like, oh, we didn't know this was happening. When it's right there in mainstream news articles coming out from foreign newspapers, mainstream newspapers, and on Sky News, I believe from Britain. So that's basically what we're seeing right now. That's the evil censorship that we're seeing, and what they're doing to exploit kids and their own users that Mark Zuckerberg calls dumb effers, and literally called them dumb effers, and walks around with that totalitarian view. The people in the goggles. I just can't get over that. That's some kind of dystopia right there. That's really dystopic. To try and capture people's emotions and make money off of that. That is ridiculous. That's insane. And let alone with all the crap that Facebook's doing right now with censoring fake news. Oh, you can trust us. We won't block CNN. YouTube won't block CNN when it's censored. Google won't do that. They'll put the best ones at the bottom of the list so you can't find them. The real news is going to be at the bottom of the list, but the fake news, when they want to see the liberalized propaganda that they want to put up there, these mega, corporatist groups that want to put up their mainstream propaganda, you can see that all day, buddy, but you ain't going to see the truth and the conservative side that we're seeing, especially with them kicking off conservatives from Fox News, even though I don't like Bill O'Reilly, okay? He's done some bad things in the past. I don't like him. He's a bully. He really is a bully. I mean, you can just read his works and stuff, and what he's done with, like, he's actually gone to people's houses and stuff, and, like, even as a kid and from an adult, and, like, threatened them and everything, But the point is, with these mega corporations and these social media aspects, they're tracking people and they're censoring people. They're censoring the media. They're censoring what you can and can't see, and it kind of goes hand in hand. They're getting rid of Bill O'Reilly now. They just got rid of, what's his name? Bill Shine or whatever from Fox News. I don't know if I printed that out of my stack here. No, I don't think I did. But they just got rid of him. You can look that up. That's on my Facebook too. I put that up this morning. Getting rid of him, a senior executive that helped basically Sean Hannity come to light. And Sean Hannity is basically the last shining star on Fox News that's not really been hit. And they try and hit him, but he's like, nope, I'm not going to. Sean Hannity's not going to take it, okay? Him and Tucker Carlson are the last people there. They're basically, the overall agenda you got to get from this is the censorship. They're coming for us. They're going to try and, make money off you. They're going to try and censor what you can see and what ads they can put up, just like the new Donald Trump 100 Days ad that come out, which we'll get into later on in the segments that I have here provided for you. And what's going to happen with, now they're threatening a government shutdown and things like that, which we might need, to be honest, and we'll dive deeper into that. But the entire agenda of just this dystopian Orwellian thing where we're always watching you and you can only see what we want you to see is exactly what's happening in America and abroad, with Facebook being the pioneer behind this, to try and basically kiss China's toes and say that, yes, like, look what we've done in the West, look what we've done in Europe and in Germany and America and France and London and UK. We are censoring all of these people. We are exploiting them for their money. Can you please just let us back in? We're using Chinese-style tactics of censorship so no one else can see anything but the state. Can you please let us back in, and we'll do whatever you say, amen. That's basically, they're planning to use China as their ultimate god of media censorship so they can make, exploit the most money out of it, because China will pay a lot of money for that, like they do already in their van-killing country that we know of now that's absolute communism. That Trump has given some appraisal to. The only reason I think he's okay with that, because I do believe that the communist dictator there does want to stop North Korea. But we'll get all into that. We'll get into all that North Korea crap and stuff later on. But that's what happened with Facebook. That's what's happening with Fox News and the censorship and the media, liberalized media. Stay right here. Don't go away on the Justin Comer Show. We'll be right back.